Whoa, Stegosaurus here, and today we're going to work on an Omega Blue helmet. At least Omega Rangers. I think there's another like Boom Comics Ranger team that I always get confused with these. Solar Rangers. Yeah, these are Omega Rangers. The Solar Rangers don't have like the race details. They're kind of smooth. That is a blue Omega Ranger, right? I don't know. I'm making one of the girl ones. If there's not a blue one, then we're going to make the yellow. Whatever. I'm pretty sure there's two. They're the same. They just have different crystals. For the women. The men ones might be different too, but this is modeled by 3D Command Center. I think it's printed really nice. This is one of the better Boom comic suits. If I had to pick, the Solar Rangers are cool. They're adapting Die Ranger right now, and apparently they're making a Die Ranger black suit, so that should be kind of cool. We haven't seen them yet. I think they're going to be like Eltar or like Zordon's team. I don't know. But if anything, I'm super stoked about that because the Die Ranger suits are one, amazing. Two, deserve way more recognition than they get. I mean, everyone knows the White Ranger. That's Die Ranger. And two, we might get some Lightning Collection Die Ranger. So I'm excited. I was going to get some parts to make custom figures off Timbri 3D. Everyone knows him. If you're in Lightning Collection or Power Rangers at all, you know, I was going to get Die Ranger ones because they'll never make Die Ranger figures. And SH Figure Art ones, there's only like 3 of them, right? There's not the whole team. And they're expensive. So I'm like, I'll make them. And then it's got announced. So I'm going to hold my breath on them and maybe get Q Ranger ones instead because that's never going to get adapted to. But watch. Maybe that'll be the next live action adaptation because I got all this Netflix stuff coming. I don't know. Whatever. It's a mess. Life is wild and confusing and scary and depressing and happy and all kind of emotions. Wow, really got off track there. But anyway, we're going to get going on this. Printed really nice, actually. We're just going to do some spot putty first, see how it looks. I usually do spot putty first because I know up around here, since I print them like this, we're going to have to put the most work. So just quicker that way. And then we'll go from there. All right, we're going to sand the Omega Ranger here. There is blue. It's yellow, blue. Oh, God, I had this black and red. Yeah. So there is a blue. We'll probably do blue. Got kind of a gross layer shift here, but we put spot putty all over it using new technique. Thin it with acetone, brush it on. Took like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Just let it dry. The acetone makes it dry real quick. But we'll get this sanded, prime it, see how this is looking. I can tell you now we're probably going to have to fill this probably a little more for sure. But I don't know what happened. I don't remember what printer I printed this on. I usually get banding a lot on my CR10 because it moves, but my Ender not so much. But I feel like this was on my Ender, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll get it sanded. No big deal. Back's the same way. Just spot putty. A little thicker here. Try to cover up the layers. So we'll give it a go. Again, first pass. Can't really expect too much from that. Here we go. I think that's a good first sand. As you can see, we're definitely going to have to fill this again. It's pretty deep. I'm kind of debating if I just want to fill it now and then prime it, which I think that's what I'm going to do. And we'll just use spot putty in the traditional way. It's getting there because that's pretty deep. So we'll do that. I'll sand it and then we'll get to me prime. Okay, I did spot putty that line. Fill it, sand it. You see, go get another pass on it. Looks better than it did, especially up in here. But this, it's gonna need a little more work. I might have just sanded a bit too much when I was sanding that extra stuff I added. No big deal, no big deal. But other than that, she's looking pretty good. Back's looking pretty good. I did put some extra spot putty just on here and in the middle of the back, like I said. So looking pretty good. We'll let this dry. I'll probably put another layer of spot putty on it next week, um, especially where that line is. It's worse on this side. This side's not as bad. I mean, it's still there, but we'll get it out. We'll get it out. It just takes a little bit, so we'll let this dry. Everything else is looking pretty good. I filled in that layer shift we had. I'm gonna try to lightly sand this. Should probably do it by hand, honestly, but we'll see how this goes. Don't want to take too much off. Did that. We'll get this in the back sanded. And we'll get another coat of primer on here, and if all goes well, might be about time to wet sand. All right, I think we got it here. Might need to do these bottom ones a little more here. We'll get primer on it and see. We can just do that later. But yep, I think it's looking good. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think there's like a tiny spot way down around the chin that layer line didn't quite fill. That layer shift didn't quite fill correctly. But other than that, I think it's looking really good. We'll let it dry. Wet primer always deceives you. But I think we're almost ready to start wet sanding. I'll fix that tiny little piece. It should take, a finger spot putty and quick little sand. But man, wasn't a fan of these helmets, but this one's growing on me. We're gonna start working on the crystal. I need to look up which one's the blue one. I printed both of them because they were like in the same file. So but I'm gonna figure that out. Well, probably next we'll move on to wet sanding. Okay, for this Omega, we're gonna do blue. I'm gonna use this satin Oasis blue. I used my Hurricane blue. I think it turned out pretty well. Still not 100% sure on what finish this is. I don't know if it's satin or if it's matte. If the metallic stuff is satin or matte. And like, it doesn't look like it's silver. It looks like it's like graphite maybe. So I'll have to try to find a different color once we get to that. But we'll get the base coat on, and then we should be able to, take a week to find what paint I need. And I'll have to make a decision on the finish, and we'll be able to get most of that done next weekend, hopefully. I don't know, it's really cold. It's -7 this morning, so painting is a chore. I gotta heat the garage up, turn the heater off, paint, rinse, repeat. So it's a process. But we will get this on here, and hopefully it looks okay. I'll probably put that back part down on the bottom like I usually do. I don't trust that post. I just had this set up from when I was doing 2 helmets at the same time. So stand by. All right, that was 2 coats. We'll let that dry for the week. The satin stuff's always weird. I never know when it's dry or wet. I mean, you do and you don't. I don't know. It just always looks odd to me. But we'll let this dry. And like I said, I'm gonna see if we could find out what. It's not silver. I have some reference from Star Studios. Is that who did these for Boom at Power Morphicon? The Power Morphicon display only had yellow, black, and red. We'll have to. I did find one with blue, so I don't know if that's the same people, but that's what I'm going to use for reference. And I don't think it's silver. I think it's like weird, like graphite or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but we'll let it dry and then we will get there. Okay, we got the silver done. As you saw, it was pretty uneventful. I didn't think we needed much. Probably just skip through that. We need to work on the emblem. I keep forgetting about it. I have it over there. I keep thinking maybe I can like take epoxy resin or something and like either brush it on or just like make a little dam with tape or something, or like hot glue some cardstock around it and maybe give it like that fake
casted look, you know, make it look like it's actually clear resin or something. I don't know. I need to get going on that. But I found this graphite gray metallic tester's enamel. I found it the old terrible Hobby Lobby when I was looking for gold and silver. They didn't have gold. Well, they had a weird gold. I got a weird gold we're going to use on this. It's kind of like that nice butterscotch gold, I guess, that I always see people using. That I was like, well, I like that better than, you know, the usual gold. The regular tester gold is really pretty. I'm looking at my Magi Shine, and it's like far away, and light's hitting it just right. And I like that. So we'll see how this butterscotch goes. If it ruins the helmet, well, we all learn things in life, but I think this is going to be great for the graphite looking areas. But gonna try to do this quick, get the tape off the mouthpiece, because I did the enamel last night and it should be dry. I hope. It's really cold, so we'll see. But let's get this on here. This stuff is so nice, goes down in like 1.5 coats, so should be pretty uneventful. Of course, an uneventful thing got eventful. It just came out weird in the beginning, and then I panicked a little bit. It might go a little too heavy. I might have some runs. The good thing about the enamel, we can clean up with some alcohol. It's not a huge deal, but if we got on the silver, that's kind of a problem. Yikes. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to let this dry. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't really know what else to do at this point, and I didn't feel like I got everything, but I don't know what else to do. So maybe we'll have to do another coat next weekend. It says recoat after 3 hours or 48. So we'll just wait to 48. I don't want to push it. Or maybe, I don't know. I kind of also need to get that tape off the silver. I don't want it pulling up some of the metallic-ish stuff. We'll let it dry. I'll take tape off, and then we might need to touch up with a brush or something. So that's the game plan. What a mess. It's always something. It's always something. I mean, I thought it was warm enough in here. It's like 70, but you know how it goes. So that's where we're at. We'll move on to the gold next if this isn't a disaster. All right. Hopefully you got this masked well enough. It's hard to say. This wasn't fun to mask. It probably took an hour, at least 45 minutes. So I hope it's okay. I don't know. We're going to try using some this extreme lacquer here. I used the Purplelicious on my co-rag, and it turned out nice. And I like this like butterscotch gold. I don't know. I see people with gold kind of like this all the time. And I wanted to try painting something kind of that color, but I could never find any, and I found this. Hopefully it's all right. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have any issues. There's a little bit of the other lacquer peeking out where it kind of ran into the other masking. So hopefully that doesn't become an issue, because I've had that problem before. I don't know. We'll get it on here. Hope for the best. That's all we can do. That's a pretty sexy gold. I like it. We're going to let it dry. I'm not going to push it. Could maybe use a little bit more, but I think it's going to be all right. I don't know if I got all of the like edges. That's the important part. We'll touch up anything we didn't get, but I think it's going to look good, especially when we get all the masking off, that contrast. Money. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. That pure gold, it was called. Tester's Extreme Lacquer Pure Gold. So, yeah, good stuff. All right. We cleaned up some of the spots we didn't like. We're going to do the pinstripe now, and that should really bring it all together, hopefully. I'm going to have to probably get a larger sheet of PETG plastic for the visor than I usually get, because this thing is rather large, and even cutting on a diagonal, I don't think it's going to be enough. I'll make a pattern and see, but I'm not hopeful. So let's get to it. Got most of it. Still got a couple more lines to do. I'm just need to walk away. It's getting a little tedious, and also it's getting a little late in the morning, so I gotta go get my kiddo. But I think it's looking good. I did finally find some clear satin, so we'll be able to hopefully clear this afternoon. And I have the emblem primed. I'm gonna wet sand it, prime it, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna 200 prime it, wet sand it, and then I got some UV resin to try to make it look like a gem. So I think I need to get some talcum powder while I'm out this afternoon to mix with it so it doesn't just like run. And I think if I mask off and I have some coloring too coming for it too. So I'm hoping this looks nice. We don't have to do like a thick layer or anything, so it should be pretty fine. I've never used it before, so I'll probably screw it up. But luckily, I printed some extra gems by accident. Well, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. So it looks so big, right? I don't know. I guess that's how they look. But yep, that's the plan. I'm gonna let this sit. I'll probably come back and all these will pop off or something. I'll be real upset, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, well, we're gonna give this a shot. Put satin on this. It goes against how I feel. I don't know. I always try to make them so shiny and glossy, and we're kind of not doing the total opposite of it, but you know, probably gonna look about the same. So pretty sure that blue paint is satin already. So just gonna dull it out a little bit. Kind of an eggshell look, I guess. I'm not sure, but that's what we're gonna do. Other than that, I think it's looking good. I need to put paint on the gem, and then we will get some resin on it. See if we can pull that off without screwing everything up. But I think it looks cool. It's a little bit tidying up on when we did some of the other paint, but you know, it's a very hard thing to mask with all the weird lines and shapes. So I'm kind of happy with how it turned out so far. Hopefully it keeps me happy, so we'll see. That's 3 coats. I'm gonna do one more heavy coat, but that's more just to protect it than to actually get the finish we need. So it looks kind of like Star Child props. I think that's who did it. Maybe they went with matte. I don't know. I guess mine's gonna be satin. We're pot committed at this point, so I'll be happy with it. I think it's gonna look good. And then I'm going to wet sand and get paint on the gem. And once we get to the resin part, I'll certainly tune back in. So this has been sitting here, done almost for, I want to say 2 months. It's about 2 months. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with this gem thing. And I've tried 15 things. I'm gonna just make sure I'm putting it out there. I'm not happy with how this turned out, but I'm going to roll with it because I just want this done, and it's gonna look fine on my shelf, and that's what's important. And the helmet itself is, I think it's nice. I think I did an okay job on it. Did all the details. We got all the colors, everything. So that's fine. I'm happy with this. That's why we're proceeding. This is the gem. I'm not super pumped about it. There's some like could have been. It's not smooth. It could have been sanded better. I tried everything. I tried resin. I tried colored resin. I tried just painting it. It didn't look good. The only thing that I thought looked okay was some of the pearlescent blue that I used on my Kamen Rider Rebi. So that's what I went with. I'm going to put the visor in first, and then I'm going to look up the Star Child props. They're the ones that did these helmets for reals for Power Morphicon, I think. So I'm going to look up the reference again just to make sure where this goes. Apparently now in the comics, Omega Blue, these are Omega, right? These are the Omega Rangers. What are the other ones? Solar. These are Omega, yes. There's a dog now or something. So, you know, whatever. Again, I have to look where this goes. I don't think it goes there. I think it goes like here. Like it's over the visor. But we're just gonna move on. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna super glue that on once I figure it out. Not much more to say about this. I thought I lost this template I made, but I found it, thankfully. I would have had this done like a week ago, but I couldn't find this. And I could have just did another one, but I was doing like 50 other things and just was kind of wanted to work on this in between. So, yeah, we're gonna get this in. It doesn't fit right from the inside, from the outside. So, don't get concerned. I'm a little concerned, but you don't need to be. So, yeah, we'll do that. So we're gonna put this stupid gem thing on. We're gonna do the visor. We're gonna do magnets. We're gonna do elastic, and then we are gonna get to the spin around and call it dead on arrival on this one. So let's get to it. Well, going to be honest with you, that template was not for this helmet. Was not at all, as you saw. So we had to readjust, redo everything. I put some pinstripe on the gem. I might just go over that real quick with a little bit of clear nail polish so it doesn't lift. But yeah, she should be good to go. So let's get to the spin around.
So there it is. That is our first Boom Comics original helmet we've done. Uh, I think we did it justice. I really do. The only thing I'm really not happy with is this stupid gem. I don't even if you know this, but in the spin around, I put after I put it on, I put some pinstripe here, and we did a little bit of nail polish to make it stick and make it look okay. And in the process of bringing it in, it wasn't quite dry, and I got a little bit on my shirt hit a little bit, so it's kind of weird right here. It really bummed me out, but whatever. It's fine. You probably wouldn't know this if I didn't tell you. And I already told you the gem was garbage, so that's out of the way. It happens. We all make mistakes. It's just for me, so I'm not super worried about it. It's still gonna look good in the shelf. I think the matte clear, not matte. Nope, it was satin clear. I'm glad we didn't do matte, was what I was thinking. I think the matte would have been too dull, and I think the satin's. I think it's just right. It makes it look flat, but not flat. I mean, obviously, I get it. That's what satin is, but it looks right, if that makes sense. Again, this was all based off the Star Child props, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that did the actual helmets for Powered Morphicon like 3 years ago when these debuted. 4, I don't know. Blue wasn't a part of that. That team, it was just yellow, black, and red at that time. I like this helmet. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the helmets though. I wish they were all different. I I don't like helmets being like the exact same minus, like one or two things. Like light speed, you can get away with it because the visors are vastly different except for green and pink. That's a whole thing. Um, but just having the gem different on boys and girls is kind of lame. I could be 100% wrong on that. And I know that they've since changed a little bit, maybe in the new comics. Like I said, Blue's a animal of some sort now. I don't know. I'm a little real behind on the comics, but I try to be comical, and I fail every time. So I don't know why bother. I'm getting too old for this, I guess. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. This took way too long. I had this sitting here forever. And even finishing this video took forever. It's got dust all over it now. So I apologize for that. I didn't realize until the bright lights just melted my face. So a little bit of pinstripe coming up there. I think it turned out great. Hope you enjoyed watching this. I know a lot of people requested this, so hopefully this scratches your itch. If there's another one of these ones you want to see, let me know. Maybe talk me into doing the black or the red one, doing the male ones, just because at least the gem's different. I don't know. But yeah, uh, follow, like, comment, subscribe really helps me out. The closer we get to 2K subs, um, closer we get to that giveaway. Don't forget, it's coming up. When we get closer, we'll get it all figured out. Don't you worry. Um, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Links all down in the description or in my link tree. If you have any questions or you're trying to make your own helmet and you don't know what to do, hit me up. I'm trying to be more than helpful with all your questions. Yeah, I don't get ignored or anything, so please hesitate to reach out and we will try to get you going. I've got merch in the store. It'll be down in the description or my link tree if you're more interested in that. Hopefully, you have some better shirt designs than just these. By the time you're seeing this, which we should, thanks to M for Mighty and a couple other artists, hopefully have some cool stuff going. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day.